I take it as early as possible before this, we have historical source material before the destruction of the temple in 70 AD. But it doesn't matter so long as we get the Gospels in the first century. The eyewitnesses of the time of Jesus would have still been around. So either way, it's early historical source material. Another parenthesis, it's not in my notes. If that's a problem for some people, which it shouldn't be a problem actually, because that means we're on brilliant solid ground as historians. But Dr. Keener, an ex-atheist who's a Christian, has done some real good work on oral tradition and showed how the ancients were very good at passing on information through oral tradition. They had bigger trained memories to do that. So if you say, well, it took, say the first gospel written 40 years after Jesus' life, things could have changed. But if you studied first century oral tradition and how they passed on information, that kind of argument just doesn't stand to scrutiny. But whether you agree with the most important thing that you need to realize is that the Gospels can be traced back to the first century. Once we've done that, I don't think you have an argument as a skeptic. I don't think you have an argument to make about anything concerning whether that material is good material for historical investigation. If we can trace it back to early source material, that's just brilliant. As a historian, you should get excited. And when you compare the historical source material for the life of Christ as compared, say, to Muhammad, the earliest historical material that we start to get of Muhammad is 200 years after his life. And you compare him to Jesus, and we are in such a different world. It's much more accurate, much more closer to the situation. Okay, so these are just parenthesis things. They're not in my paper, all right. But I just putting that in, just if any atheist had some questions about that. If you want to find out more information, Google Dr. Keener on his Book of Acts, or go to his website, Keener, K-E-E-N-E-R, ex-atheist, and he's done a lot of videos on oral tradition, and you can read some of his articles on his website. He's written a main authority on the Book of Acts. So if you Google Keener Book of Acts, you'll be able to find where he is and stuff like that. Anyhow, so what we've done there is we've traced the Gospels throughout history, and we've traced it right back, and it's early historical source material. You can go to for studying Ignatius, you can go to www.earlychristianwritings.com Ignatius. The next important thing to note is that the Gospels are accurate historical documents. Not only are they early historical documents, they are accurate historical documents. The historical accuracy of John's Gospel in Bethsaida in John chapter 1 verse 44, the text tells us Andrew and Peter came from the city, were fishermen. The text tells us that Andrew and Peter came from this city and they were fishermen. Archaeologists have discovered a plethora of fishing implements in a house in Bethsaida. Cana, number 2, John chapter 2 verse 1 to 11. Archaeologists do think that Khirbet Cana is the place where Jesus did the miracle of turning water into wine, found